to be in a better spot as Team Liquid. And we'll see. Thank you for the Shen ban. It's expected here from Team Liquid. But EUnited with the Taliyah ban, targeted towards Piglet here because he played it 3 games in a row and was comfortable blind picking it back in their last match.
Easy to clear the wave. Easy to keep himself safe, but he won't have it this time around. There's many more. In Piglet's champion pool, now waiting for that second ban from EUnited as they take the full amount of time. And it is going to be for Camille against Lorlo.
Camille for Lorlo, making sure he doesn't have that champion. And interesting because they're going for a lot of solo lane bans, kind of expected here, but I think EUnited being on red side isn't too bad for them because of the fact that they'll be able to counterpick the mid lane, which has been their biggest strength, and possibly counterpick the top lane here. The Soraka ban targeted towards Zeyzal. He played that basically every time he could get his hands on it. A very defensive support player. Kind of reminds me a bit of Adrian.
You can see him. Quite a bit of chatter once they're getting these focus bans out. They're like, well, all right, there's my Soraka. Seems like they're still having fun with it. I saw Gilius earlier today, smile on his face. So these guys seem pumped and ready to get into the game. Rengar is going to be the final ban coming out here from EUnited, and we'll see what Team Liquid favors in picks and bans. Quite a bit left up, even with those bans. Yeah,
Lulu's still on the table if Matt wants it, and I think that's what you go for here. Because the Soraka ban comes through, you don't really have a defensive support to just play back the entire time, and this is going to help enhance double lift, which is a huge carry for Team Liquid. We talked about Piglet's bad laning stats. Double lift, kind of polar opposite, is doing quite well for himself and has been carrying some games, including the ones they had against TSM.
Yeah, in a Cole Ezreal lane, still going very hard, so he is knowing he's going to play aggressive even in non-aggressive builds early game. Rumble picked up over there on the side of Licorice. They feel comfortable with the Rumble, as most teams do, and not showing all that much. Second pick to come in.
Yeah, the Rumble didn't really work too well for him previously.
That's true.
Up against Gold Coin United in the finals, but it is a very strong champion. There aren't a lot of things that you get to play into it and have a good time. So we'll see what ends up happening here, and that Lorlo picks into it. May be going for tanks like Nautilus, etc. And this would be quite interesting because the pickup of the Zyra here would be the first time that we've seen Zeyzal on this champion. The guy has played Tom Kench, Soraka, Lulu, and Karma. This will be his first time playing the Zyra.
And I do like spreading your wings in the first game of a best of 5, kind of take the team off guard. You know, as a support, would feel comfortable playing on Zyra in this multitude of patches we've had. Rainover looking at a little niddly hover as they're looking at a top and support pick from EUnited to start.
Yeah, I believe you go with the Graves here. I was expecting it to be picked up rather early instead of the Zyra, but they match and really just want that Rumble alongside it. So this is quite interesting because it's a top tier, and you look at, like, in terms of high tier champions, Team Liquid, now they're going to have an incredible bully lane. They're taking away the Caitlyn, so you can't have Caitlyn and Zyra both in the same lane for EUnited. Now it becomes a little bit of a bully lane for Team Liquid instead.
Be that Zyra Ashe we still see, but safety and power already put into this Team Liquid composition. Gilius going to try to make some plays on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, it's a great champion for him. God Gilius loves to play the Lee Sin. Also, Coach Brokenshard probably is like, as soon as you want to lock in Lee Sin, he's all for it. I like the Nautilus ban. I was expecting that to come through for Lorlo here instead of the Caitlyn, but they wanted to take the Caitlyn away and not have it be paired up with the Zyra on EUnited.
And there's the Ashe that might also go with that Zyra. TL thinking the same thing. Keeping a pretty harassy bot lane. They're trying to lock all that out.
Yeah, get rid of the long-range champions here. Varus is the next one with 575, but I don't think you would go with that in this composition.
Look at a mid laner.
Ezreal would probably be what definitely would go for next. EUnited, we'll see what happens here if they go for another tank ban, but I like that the Cassiopeia, taking that away from Piglet, making sure he doesn't have that champion that he's actually performed quite well on. But Vladimir is another champion that is open. And with the Cassiopeia ban, and that being the champion that counters Vladimir, it may be EUnited going for a Vlad pick themselves.
Actually hitting up definitely pretty hard here. Going to give Fox basically whatever he wants. That's going to be their last pick, though, so Piglet will has his choice. Oh, words. His choice of a mid laner. Need to separate those to make them work. And
yeah, I was thinking
he looks so happy. He's like, I could do it. It's going to be fun anyways. Smile on his face, locks in the Jhin.
Yeah, actually surprising because Ezreal's still on the table, and I would consider that a great pick here, but they're going for a double root and a bit of a soft engage. So they're kind of combining engage tools here on EUnited's side to make sure that they have some pick potential, but they also have an ability to start fights.
Also, like Rumble Ultimate now with Jin, kind of lose a bit of that slow from his ultimate. So you can place that equalizer good. You get a bit of that slow back. Maokai for Lorlo. This team actually is packing just about everything in a pretty nice composition. What can they round it out with for Piglet? And the aggression of the Ahri is going to be in his hands here for this first game. We figured Vladimir may be somewhere.
Yeah.
And eUnited starts to harbor that as their last pick.
Yeah, Vladimir, Orianna, both good champions right now, both very neutral in how you can play them in this matchup. And we'll see what Piglet's able to do on the Ahri, because it's also a really good champion for him. Goes back to the days when he did play mid lane early before Season 3. And that would be actually quite fine, because they have physical damage in their jungle and in their AD carry position, but then they have a lot of magic damage on a United side of the top lane and in the bottom side. So looking at the compositions here, I really like eUnited diversifying their damage palette. Squishy composition, though.
Right.
And Team Liquid, they have a frontline tank. They have a way to bully the bottom lane, and this gets really tricky for them. But if Fox can bully Piglet out of lane on the Jace, it will open up the map a bit.
Seeing what the sum spells are, they still have quite a bit of time to change them. 2 ignites being run on the side of Team Liquid here for that kill potential. And they look to exhaust a possible Ahri or Reignover as they get into the fights here. You can see the cleanse being run onto Fox. He wants to stay safe in that lane. We'll have to see how the early game goes. We have seen from the bot lane, Team Liquid has been able to carry quite often recently, with Doublelift and Matt doing quite a bit of work in the early game. We're about to head into our promotion matchup. Gonna be Team Liquid versus eUnited. The coaches shake hands, and they will be off, as now it's up to the players and their picks.
Yeah, coaches no longer have control, so they sit backstage, you sweat, and you take notes. And you get ready for the best of 5. You have to adjust in between. Of course, they'll get a decent amount of time to do so in between games. But this one, looking at how the draft went, eUnited, skirmishy, low in terms of their tankiness. But Team Liquid, on the other hand, very tanky in terms of their top lane. They have good CC from Lorlo, but then they also have Matt to make somebody a little bit tankier.
Can come down to a lot of things in this game. Timing in the team fights, teleports, the initial movement for plays, all could be in the favor of Team Liquid here, as they've been doing this. I guess EU has as well for the past 9 weeks. But like Doublelift said, they have to play just either at that level or better than the LCS team to take them down. We'll see if that's true.
Yeah, and it's funny because he said individual could take down a challenger team. I don't know if he meant each person could like win a whole game and be like
gladiator mode.
Yeah.
One person leaves the fountain.
Like just get 13 kills and you win the game by yourself, the real 1v5. Because he said they were individually skilled, and it's true. Right. You look at the pedigree of a lot of players on Team Liquid, Doublelift, Piglet, Reignover, all these guys, including, I think Lorlo has been playing quite well the whole split, but not enough to win them games. He will carry from the top lane, not as much as they would want.
We got Doublelift the other day tweeting his stats out. Hey, look at these.
He was like tweeting, hey, does anybody have these stats? And then he found them. He's like, all right, check these out.
Sometimes you can toot your own horn.
Like this from Deftly, the Warlord's Bloodlust. So there were some changes here for the patch that we're playing on. Is Warlord's Bloodlust was changed to total AD from actual just straight up lifesteal. And a lot of people kind of think it's nerfed or equal in power, but it's actually better in most cases.
I love it.
Because, for example, if you're hitting somebody for 1,000 damage, like, all right, I would have healed 50% of that at max, right? But if you're hitting a big tank, this is pre-mitigation because it just goes off of your AD number. And as Jin, you're going to have high AD. You can actually make sure that the shot that's your 3rd shot can give you movement speed off of the Warlord's Bloodlust to get your 4th shot.
Right.
Or you can do it in reverse order and get your 4th shot to have extra movement speed on it. It's just very impactful, and it will crit alongside your normal crits, so it's great.
And some really sick setup as well. If you can get an Ardent Sensor in the build, you're just healing like a master when you get that charge up in the late game.
Yeah, don't think that'll happen for Deftly. Will happen most likely for Doublelift.
For Doublelift, that would be a little more applicable. Ooh. To the Skies damage. Level 2 gets hit in the mid lane here for Fox and Piglet. No Summoner's Blown.
But Gilius is actually invading already. Doesn't get the Q. Now has to back off because Reignover is level 3. Reignover a little bit low on mana, but it is a Graves with a level advantage. sees Gilius doing the Scuttle Crab, and that Scuttle Crab won't save him. But he does have advantage top.
Mana for Rainover, only has a few skills, but really only needs his autos here. Lorlo not able to leave the lane due to a bit of a push towards the turret. They call off the engage to Gilius. Yeah,
and actually having a push advantage is incredibly important. And it's why one of the reasons that Nautilus is so highly prioritized. But I like this from the bottom lane here, where they had taken the Caitlyn away from the Caitlyn-Zyra combination that eUnited may have wanted. But what Doublelift and Matt get to do is they get to walk up, because as soon as they see Lee Sin on the top side of the map, no chance of being ganked. And so the big threat, or I guess the big leash on the threatening bottom lane is that you wait until you see the jungle.
And this discrepancy was growing. There was only about 4 minions that would have evened up definitely to Doublelift there. He's already 22 to 13, so almost a minion wave missed in the bot lane already with the pressure they're adding. Licorice
he's waiting
now
for Gilius.
He's trying to buy time. Gonna
Rainover
the end of the line as it comes back. Lorlo very, very low. Flashes down to draw him closer to the turret. Actually gets hit. Sonic Wave to Resonating Strike connects. Rainover's able to toy with Licorice, get himself out alive. But first blood to Lorlo. Rainover. The burn goes down. Safeguard from Gilius. He's going to try the fight still. And it's not going to happen. Rainover does everything he can to try and come up for the kill.
Yeah, and you could see what was happening there. Is Gilius was helping Licorice clear the wave to try and push it out, but that's not going to happen. So they're going to get Licorice's teleport on top of this. Definitely stepped on a trap.
Should be all right. Matt gets locked. A deadly flourish under the turret. And an outplay in the bot lane by eUnited takes down Matt and double summoners there.
Matt had flashed in and ignited and tried to get a kill there. Definitely barely gets out, but the return deadly flourish gets him a kill. 2-0 lead already for the challenger team. In lanes that we were not expecting.
That's a damage level from Matt. He went 2 shield, no polymorph yet, so he's looking for that Thunderlord's hit. Thought he could end out deftly there. Underestimated the damage. Also, heal on deftly, so baited in.
Yeah, made sure that he doesn't drop to the ignite, but...
Right.
Ooh. You see the difference there was a lot of that exhaust on top of it, too. Zeyzal taking that on the Zyra, which is normally an ignite lane, but he's making sure that he has an exhaust, like you said, for the Ahri late game. And came up big in the laning phase.
Pays off a little bit now. 7.1 to 8.1. Little gold in the pocket now of eUnited. There's not too many items yet as they recipe forward here.
Gilius coming up from behind here on the mid lane on Piglet.
Active.
Not 6 yet for Piglet, but they're going for damage.
There's a flash and ignite there. He might try to get the other side of Rainover. Yep. So Rainover can be in front of the damage. He has always been just there at the last moment. Is this time enough? And Rainover again comes up just short, unfortunately, for Team Liquid.
Just barely enough to keep both of them alive.
Yeah. Good stop, though, in the kill.
And on the top side, this is Rainover going over, but they know he's there. There was a ward by that blast cone. So Licorice is buying time, not overheating himself yet, waiting for Gilius, flashes to the next bush. Out of range, Rainover has to follow, and now Gilius gets in. And Lorlo has flash here, but Lorlo decides not to flash away until later. Already slowed by the red buff, gets hit by the Q, and that's the pickup there. Whereas now Licorice wants to shove it to the turret so it's not a freeze. But they get first blood, and now they're off to an early lead.
Little Shaq shimmy.
Feeling good about that one, for sure.
He really is. We keep saying Rainover stopped that kill, did a great job, but Gilius is forcing Rainover's hand almost to go to that top lane, answer to that mid lane, and make sure he can still be there. Yeah. Great job by Gilius so far to start things off for eUnited.
Yeah, Rainover's going to have his work cut out for him in this game. He's ahead, but I don't know if it's enough, because that first blood going over to Gilius will help that Lee Sin get to that level 6 about the same time as that Graves. And so Rainover, having good pathing and being very active, even with the Storm Raider Surge to help chase people down, it's not actually doing too much for him in this game just yet. I do want to touch on that. Graves basically transferred over to Storm Raider Surge because it kind of goes back to the days where Graves would rush Swifties, because you reload, and in between those shots, you really just want to keep up with the person. Right. When you don't have red buff, Storm Raider Surge helps you out so much to just stay up in that person's face.
Be okay in the bot lane. Zeyzal able to put out a few more plants now with some mana regen. In those biscuits, he can keep himself and definitely safe. 65 to 42. The discrepancy starts to grow very large. Yeah,
mid lane though, kind of back to even, but Piglet actually a little bit ahead as he's got wave push up to the turret. Whereas bottom lane, that 26 is quite large. Definitely came over from the scouting grounds, and he actually said that Doublelift is the guy that made him want to play professionally and motivated him. Now he's up against his hero. That's got to be intimidating for anybody.
You don't want to make the wrong play. You kind of almost need to trade every auto attack. But back and forth, Matt is well positioning, very good. Zeyzal staying in the back, has to use his plants. It just seems to keep going in TL's favor. So eUnited calls for that support. Gilius.
He's 6. That's a flash forward. Doublelift already flashed.
That's Doublelift going to get popped up. They connect on the end of the wild growth. And not very many wards down here. The control ward plays forward. Gilius able to find it, wants to go in, hits it. Can he get back in? It's telling him yes, but he just doesn't have the distance. And he gets himself out. Great way to avoid the control ward in the bot as well by Gilius.
Yeah, if Gilius goes in as well, that's going to be another kill going over. But it would be a kill that possibly gets returned because Rainover is there. Rainover, once again, he's kind of on wave clear duty. And like you said, it was great from Gilius to avoid that control ward. He knew it was there. They knew that it was placed down. And then he just goes around with a clever route, spends his safeguard. But then that's immediately when Zeyzal flash, exhaust, blows the ultimate and the grasping roots onto Doublelift to try and get the heal out, which is exactly what you need to do here as a support.
And this is a great call from the bot lane to say, warded, take a different path. You might have a chance and try.
Yep. And he flashes up and then just gets picked up there. Zeyzal does get the kill, and Gilius doesn't have flash, but he knows Matt doesn't either. So he goes for the kick. Doesn't have the Q just yet because he had used it previously. Throws it there, and it's not enough. It is just barely out of range for killing Matt.
Things calm down once again. Back to lane, 14.1 to 13.6. We just see, before that replay, the map did not look like that for Team Liquid. They had very little wards on it. They've finally been able to push themselves forward, a little bit of breathing room as they deny eUnited all that vision that has allowed Gilius to be the catalyst here for each one of the lanes. And almost everybody has gotten a little bit of that medicine. Fox really the only one, as he plays safe against Piglet, has yet to get Gilius's advantage.
Yeah, Gilius did go to the mid lane and then Rainover showed up. That's the only time. But everybody has actually been active in all 3 lanes, and it's good to check in a best of 5 first game which lane seems to be the easiest to gank. And I'm telling you right now, this TL bottom lane, they are shoving up because they have an advantage in the matchup, and probably skill-wise too in terms of players. You know Doublelift wants to crush lane, but that's going to leave them vulnerable constantly to ganks. And now that bottom side of the map is just completely warded up so that they can continue to push.
They did on that side. They'd see him for a while away. He still has his dragon entry, which confuses me, but control ward there. They pinged Rainover for bot side too. Yeah,
and so Rainover's going to go into the blue because he has vision all around this area. And so they have to know, or TL should know, that Lorlo's going to get ganked.
Arcane smash back, the double hit. He should be able to live in this situation. Very nicely kicked out of turret range, but he's still too tanky with Vengeful Maelstrom on. Low mana bar. Last Arcane smash denies the rest of his Vengeful Maelstrom. And I think they're going to live out on this one. Licorice Burn, it would have been denied by what happened with the aggro. Gets out of the turret shot as it also went over to Gilius.
Yep. Woo. That's another kill going over to Gilius. 2-0 and 1, but now bottom lane, they're underneath this turret. This might be first turret going down. Rainover not going to make a play for it. Okay. Not going to actually go anywhere in there. He's just going to ward up the whole jungle.
Yeah.
And get vision on this side.
6 wards, so Doublelift and Matt can continue their aggro play. They want to keep that CS lead. They want to keep the advantage. Unfortunately, 2 assists over to definitely 2 kills to Zeyzal throughout the plays. Piglet draws him back, charms in Gilius. Last shot, collateral damage. Drops him to the ground. A flash as well. Blown. Turret's going to go down. Fox maybe staying a little too close. Piglet Spirit Rush isn't there. Fox really trying to pull in Licorice in a possible bait, but TL pulls back as well.
Yeah, Piglet had gotten so much damage on this mid lane turret and has just constantly shoved up the wave. The early game completely just 180 there where Piglet was being bullied. Immediately Fox starts taking the brunt of that lane and loses his turret for it because Rainover shows up, throws out all of the damage onto Gilius, and they get a kill on the Fed member.
So interesting how that kind of flow of the game works. Gilius can go around, do so much, but that one play then 5 minutes later where you capitalize back, you're able to pick up so much and that shutdown.
Exactly, and you're talking about picking up so much for it. We were looking at the gold, we were looking at the scoreboard, 4-0 in terms of kills for eUnited, but if you look at where all that gold is, there's so much gold now on Rainover, and everybody on eUnited was pretty much getting out CS save for the top lane. Yeah. So they have an advantage on their Rumble, whereas they're losing in jungle, they're losing on their other 2 carry roles as well, which does not bode well at all for eUnited unless Licorice is going to have a really good game here.
pick up a Cloud Drake. There's a quick spin around. They mid-turret, then to Dragon is a bit of that map. Opened up eUnited. And a slow take on the Scuttle as he moves himself around. Lorlo going hard, got a rotation up from Piglet. Ignite is down, but his Spirit Rush is seconds away from being up. They're looking to go for the long play here. Charm just out of range, should be able to hit him on the back.
Licorice has Flash, and they're waiting for the root.
There's the Charm. They wait for the first lockdown so he can't flash out. Good call.
Yeah.
They
so
lock him up.
You're expecting Licorice to just flash at some point, but he wants to reactively flash the Charm. But TL's really just waiting for the root from Lorlo, so he can't flash then, and then they just combo it together.
Good rotation. Down to Dragon, then to the top. Keeping everything on the plate here and picking it up. Kills may follow through soon. Rainover just on the backside of that blast coming from Gilius. If Double Lift and Matt can stay alive long enough with Wild Growth, this is going to be a party in the bot lane.
Yeah, here comes Rainover. He's 2 levels up. There's the TP on him too. Gilius kicks him back to keep him here.
Oh, the blast cone was down, and he still went over the wall thinking it may have been the advantage. Actually still pulls it out with the damage. The entire eUnited team standing tall in front of Gilius to keep him healthy. But here comes the rest of the party as top lane gets pushed.
Exactly. Top lane has 2 members there. Definitely's going to open up here. Double Lift has to flash. He's still going to get hit by 1.
Wild Growth is used, so they're trying to use that meat wall, keep the curtain call away. Smoke goes down, but definitely still has shots on the turret. They have to be quite careful.
Yeah, no more minions, though. They have to clear this minion wave out, and they'll wait for the next one to push.
And it looks like topple back before they get too much damage on it as well. They feel like a possible kill into second turret may be a thing here for eUnited, so everybody plays it safe.
Yep, and now they have to go for the back timer here. Jace will go to the top side of the map just to clear out that wave. And now becomes the rotation game. What's the next objective for each of these teams in terms of where they want to push? Because Liquid, they put a lot of their wards on the bottom side of the map. They already have that middle turret and the top. It's pretty easy to say that they're going to go for that bottom turret here, and it's already pretty chunked out. But I think eUnited, they're trying to split push and make a play for top and mid off of the Jace and see what happens here, because Lorlo is in a position to punish a roam. Punish bad lane assignments.
Yep. Piglet's pushed up quite far in that mid lane.
Yeah, and here comes a wraparound from Gilius. There's the TP.
Gilius should be able to get out. Thought the polymorph was going to come through. Lorlo right onto him. They're going to smoke him out before he can get away, slowing him down, denying his vision. And now Licorice is going to have to walk himself out of this. Flashed and watched his teammate go down.
Yeah, that's actually 5 members of Team Liquid to the bottom side. Great collapse there where they brought Piglet in as well. And then they had Lorlo with the teleport. Fox will get the top turret because of the teleport from Lorlo, putting him on the bottom side of the map.
Yep.
But a little bit more tempo advantage here and time for people to set up wards. Like, here's the big difference when these plays happen. You match turrets, but there aren't enough wards that Fox can place on this top side of the map that he can't get the blue. He can't set up vision for a mid push later. Whereas TL, they have so many people on the bottom side. They get to take that blue buff, they get to take the turret, and they get to set up vision for a mid lane bot side push as well.
$152 to $136. Like you said, Fox trying to get around and clear more waves. Turrets, yeah, vision. Also in his face as we see that bottom play here one more time.
Yeah, not the greatest equalizer, but I don't know if that would have made a difference here. They would have had to blow up Matt, who still has a shield available to him in Whimsy, and this is just 5 people collapsing. Rainover down here so quickly as well with Piglet, and that's why Piglet was shoving the middle lane. You commented on it earlier. Piglet really likes to get pressure first and then start roaming, so he'll play past that halfway point as much as he can. He doesn't get to do it much because he's not usually in an advantageous lane, but you're seeing what it looks like when he does have it. And Double Lift versus Gilius.
Double Lift could be going down here. A few more kicks. Ooh. Oh, the Wild Growth. That's not what he wanted.
He's got Q.
Oh, does he take it? No, Rainover's going to be there. Oh, he takes him down.
His valiantly. Yes. That was Gilius just going for the kill. And as soon as he saw that ultimate come out from Caitlyn, he's like, I got to go.
Like, as cool as that is, you do not want to be making those plays. You don't want to be forced into making those plays. Yeah, Lee Sin is a magician. He can jump in and out. But having that flash next time when Double Lift can be kicked into the team for a full fight is what they want. So eUnited getting a little silly. in their aggression and their plays. They were instantly into the jungle, and they really only leave with one ward there. All 4 members were in that jungle. They could have a lot of vision.
Yeah, and as we start seeing this Mountain Drake come up in 50 seconds, the vision from TL actually getting refreshed in that bottom side jungle. They have new wards by the Wolf Camp on both sides, so they have set up to go for this Drake. We'll see some backs, and then we'll see some purchases right before the contest for the objective.
TL, also knowing EU was in the eUnited was in the jungle. Stop calling it EU now. eUnited had placed those wards, so while they were placed, they were also cleared. It's just got to be eUnited finding that position where they can defend these wards and use them. With Fox not being able to shock blast from a Fog of War anywhere, he almost denies his damage until they're sieging a turret, and then it's just easy to dodge when you can see it coming.
And that's what the wards give you, is just you can rotate a little bit faster because you can play coming earlier. You can dodge skill shots, dodge ganks. But when I'm looking at eUnited, the warding stats here, I'm telling you, at the end of the game, there's going to be a big discrepancy here between how much these two teams have warded and how much they've cleared. There's only one sweeper for eUnited because the Lee Sin will hold on to that warding totem for a very long time for extra ward hops. But they also purchased their 4-slot Sightstone a little bit earlier. So Matt has his, whereas Zeyzal going for a little bit more damage in that department, going for the Haunting guys. He got 2 early kills, so looking to be a bit of the magic damage on the team alongside Licorice.
Pressure towards that top tower would be a great time for the team to get that wave pushed in mid. They're all kind of hovering around Raptors, making sure Gilius can take it. They don't have vision towards Dragon, though, so everything keeping them so tempered in their play. They could have been meeting Piglet at that mid lane turret and giving Licorice a little bit of help from the top side. Still, that fizzles out now, and Lorlo able to clear mid, everybody back, or I'm sorry, top, and everybody back to mid here to make sure it doesn't go down now.
Yeah, the mid turret in the sights for eUnited, and they also have the split push on the side lanes. It's interesting because Fox went for the cleanse as opposed to going for the teleport. So he's split pushing a little bit weaker, but the cleanse is going to help him in that Ahri matchup and with the ignite. But it definitely hurts him in the split push department, which you would want right now. Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to spread them thin here. Fox will go to the bottom side, and then Piglet will go to the top side, where Licorice now looks like he's rotating towards mid slash bottom, kind of looking for a point here, whereas that top side jungle is all Team Liquids. Nobody's really stopped Piglet here. You saw what happened where this was, the bottom push was matched by Lorlo, and then nobody rotates to where Fox was on the bottom side, so they can't push a turret. Here, though, everybody comes through the jungle for TL. They get the setup on the turret, the traps will come down, and now here comes a TP flank from Licorice. He has the ultimate. They're going to look for a play.
They saw that TP off a ward, so they may be able to play this one well. That's going to be double lift down immediately. A lot of the DPS. Now it gets dropped to secondary DPS as well. Zeyzal comes back. They get the heal in. Matt's going to be taken down, and Team Liquid bite off more they can chew. It's going to be a walk up here from Lorlo. But that TP just put eUnited in a very good spot.
That TP, that flash engage from Zeyzal, he locked up double lift, got key targets inside of his grasping root, and made sure that they picked up some kills there. That puts eUnited right back in the game. And now it's up to Piglet and Lorlo to try and stop this. I don't know if they have the damage or the knowledge right now to actually stop this.
Sapling?
Not quite. No touchdown today.
Gilius picks up Baron. What another flop to the game from back and forth. TL took the lead away from eUnited, and eUnited takes it back with a 3-kill Baron.
Yeah, they're still about 500 gold
Baron,
down.
honestly.
But yeah, they take out 3 here. This right here, the grasping roots into the flash. Kick from Gilius as well. But they pick up double lift immediately in the combo. Has no time to react with his flash. And then Rainover gets time to react, but he still gets picked up right afterwards. Piglet has to flash and run for the hills.
Flash down. And
then him and Lorlo were the two who remained and couldn't really stop it, but yeah, we're going to see this gold start swinging here. If eUnited can pick up this turret.
I thought Piglet limped away from that fight. I was like, he's practically dead. Full HP.
Yeah.
Misread.
Sometimes mind plays tricks on you.
That's what they have needed. The Fog of War. The siege power becomes so much better when they can walk up here, start tagging on the damage without TL even be able to see the members of eUnited. The siege minion not helping them all that much. they kind of become a pest when you can't get yourself any closer to the turret.
Yeah, but now they're just grouping as 5. They don't care about the split push. The way that TL gets back into this is having Lorlo flank, but he has no teleport. And now this is going to be a siege. Matt with another shock blast.
Lorlo is going to lumber in from the right side of this one. He's got a good hit and a twisted advance on the team if they want it. They pull back, actually. They feel like the turret fell too quick. He decides to come back to the other side of Raptors.
Yeah.
Team Liquid says, that's not too bad.
A bit of that is damage control as well. If you engage and you lose that fight, you lose your top tier 2 because there's this gigantic wave here that needs to be tended to, and there's that middle wave that was being pushed in. A lot of teams, especially when you watch at the highest level, will choose their fights around their side waves and when they're pushing. And that was one where TL, if you fight, you win it, and you get to clear your side waves, but you don't get much more off of that. Yeah. But they could potentially lose their base if they lose it. So there was way more to lose than there was to gain there.
465 out of 750 for Fox's stack on that tier. Actually a little slow. Just looking to keep the mana up for himself. Already has some damage items. As he applies the shock blast onto double lift. Good block by Matt. No follow-up from the resonating strike, but Baroned up minions mean they have all the time to siege this turret. You can see even how confident Gilius feels diving straight in. And he gets the wild growth out of Matt. Yep,
gets the wild growth. Licorice now roaming around on the bottom side of the map. He's actually on top of a ward here. He might get picked if he's not careful, but he's ready for that. And now they're going to continue to push up mid. Mountain Drake in 50 seconds after the blue buff, the Baron buff is off, and the bottom lane has to be tended to by Lorlo. So there'll be some extra damage here on this turret. And Gilius
goes in, kicks Rainover out. It's actually going to be a zoning Stranglethorn.
Yeah, there's actually a mess up there by Gilius. He went for a flash, a kick flash back, but actually went a little bit short on the angle there and kicks Rainover away. Not exactly what he wanted. You want that flash for this ensuing fight around the Mountain Drake, which with the gold, only 1,000 in terms of difference. There might be a fight here for this Mountain Drake that helps you take those structures, helps you get that Baron down faster in the future. And TL already has one. If they get two, you always have to watch out when the Baron is on the field because they could take it quite quickly.
Scryer's Bloom allows them to see what's going on. 1,000 gold you can see over to Fox. Seems to be getting that spent right now. And Gilius, kind of fearless for the team here, trying to set up some wards, but also...
He should have fear, though, because now everybody's running up.
He's basically a human sentry at this point. He's finding the team, he's drawing them out, and then they know where TL is, then they can make a move.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because Fox took a later back than everybody else, so they kind of lose priority mid, and they also don't have priority on Baron, or sorry, on the Dragon. Oh, what's wrong with my words today? But yes, now TL gets complete control of this area.
I think we need to ask what's wrong with the words.
Yeah, it's the words that are wrong. It's the words that are wrong. It's not me.
Rainover, a little bit of pressure there. Nice hover by Gilius and Licorice here. They're saying you might be able to push down mid and route us that way, but we will pinch you with an equalizer. And now that they actually see Licorice below them, have a better idea of how this is going to be played out. You can see him taking position.
Yep. Mountain Drake already engaged here. They see it. So Licorice is going to walk up here. He's not in a flanking position. Fox actually going for turret push and a threat there. Licorice and Gilius off on this side. So this is just a collapse from 3 different angles. If TL play this right, they could wedge themselves out of this awkward situation.
Piglet was in a bad spot, got himself out with a good amount of damage to Fox as well. And a nice little dance here by eUnited. They've gotten Team Liquid back into their jungle, but can they win the resulting fight with the equalizer and pinching everybody off? Gilius is already down. Bleeding members on the side of TL, and Naymel fall very quick. Definitely comes in for the double kill. Now they're looking to grab one onto Lorlo as the rest of the team running for the hills. That's only Rainover, really. Almost getting taken down by Zazel.
TP to cut off Lorlo? Licorice is trying to go for a little bit more. He'll have home guard.
Gets the scrap shield on. One harpoon's gonna lock him in range for the rest of the team. Grasping root from over the wall, just missed. And he's gonna try to cook the tree up. Deadly flourish into the kill. Another shot for Deathly with the triple kill on the fight.
The guy was sitting at 0-0 and 5 ahead of time. He actually evened up the CS against Doublelift, had been picking up since the laning phase more and more for himself. So he is in a good spot now, equal. And there's only been one really winning lane here for TL since that point where they started losing that Baron and they lost that top lane fight. And that's just been Piglet in the mid lane. And a bit of Rainover too, who's almost playing Horizon's Gilius, but Gilius has been very active.
I think the death column for eUnited kind of shows how they've been staving off all of this early game pressure. We'll see this fight one more time and how they keep the bot lane alive.
And this has to be like one of the hardest team fights to actually cast and pull information from, because so much is happening at different angles. If you watch how Doublelift approaches this fight and then Fox approaches this fight, Fox comes back in over the wall to try and put pressure onto the backline. Rain over here, you see he's going to get a hit. Fox is going to throw a shock blast over the wall, and then he's going to flash over for Matt. Hits that last shot onto Rainover, doesn't kill him, then Doublelift gets rooted up. Now he has to kite back from Fox, but then Deathly is right there just pumping out damage the whole time. So if you're TL, you're focusing on Fox flashed over the wall, this equalizer just came down, well, the whole time Deathly is throwing damage at you. And so there's so many threats, and that's the advantage of playing a no-tank composition well, where there's too many threats, and the calling of the enemy team has to be on point. They have to peel at the right time, they have to peel at the right areas, and you have to collapse part of your formation where there is damage from eUnited, but it's pretty much everywhere. And when you get flanked like that, that's ridiculous.
I kind of asked you, what do we expect to see from eUnited coming in today? And you were like, they love to skirmish. And we actually saw that set up as Gilius was the one walking towards Raptors, got him in, pulled the Ignite from Matt, got a few skills out of him, and then they once again skirmished in the same spot. They just won Vision. Yeah,
they love to skirmish, and that's actually a strange team fight because it was kind of a whole bunch of skirmishes. They divided it. You're sitting there like, where's Lorlo in this fight? Well, he can only take care of so many people at once. That's one of those team fights that you have in solo queue, and you're like, where's my peel? It's like, bro, we don't have enough for that.
It's weird.
No way that you can actually peel all of that.
Here again, the team's playing horizontally in mid lane, bot lane with a push in favor of Team Liquid, so janitorial duty will have to be there for eUnited in a few minutes. It depends on how long this fight goes as they jockey for position in mid lane.
Yep. They want that Baron to at least be uncontested, and eUnited will now dip out of Vision, but Doublelift and Rainover have like the inside track. It's like proxying the wave. Now the composition split. They're going to go for an engage.
Supports out. Matt has actually taken the long way around. They may lose Rainover in this. Gilius takes the headshot, stays alive from the last hit, and that is Rainover going down. Matt did fall as he takes the long way around. Lorlo trying to get back to Doublelift as the blast cone only saves him.
Piglet got Zazel in the back.
And they're going to go down. A huge hit. Oh, the Deadly Flourish connects. They open up the curtain call. And the pamphlet reads, you are done for this one. Piglet gets himself out alive, but looks for the kill into Gilius. That's a flash from Piglet for next fight. A lot of things being used here. That should probably be saved.
Yeah, just trying to go for a pick there. If he can catch Gilius, though, then it lowers the chance of the enemy doing the Baron. And Piglet, I mean, he's stolen Barons before with Corki, but now they know he's in the back end. Gilius has to stay safe this whole time, too. He can't take too much Baron damage. Piglet sees it. Now it's even heal to keep Gilius healthy, just in case. They've stopped damage. They're starting it again. That's actually a pickup there from the Jhin at about 670 HP. And Piglet!
Whoa. Oh.
I don't know what he's doing. He's running forward, too. And now he's running towards where people had pretty much just backed. I think he's okay.
He's good.
Yeah, he should be good. Yeah, it's like he was never there. But
we'll see this again.
Yeah, the way that this happened was Doublelift and Rainover are proxying. Lorlo goes with them, and Matt now has to walk all the way around because he can't do anything there. And so Gilius will take a lot of damage, but Rainover will too. And Rainover's a big part of this team's damage when they have a tank in the top lane and a non-damage support like a Lulu. Great job from Zazel to actually zone there. But he takes a large beating here from Piglet, gets picked up, and then Doublelift is trying to place traps over the wall as he's trying to escape. But once again, that's a divided fight. They love to skirmish, but as soon as the fight was divided, that was one where they engaged. And you can see Gilius there calling the whole time. He's low HP from the get-go after the kickback. And one thing Gilius has talked about is he loves this team because he's been on teams where he isn't the shot caller. He's been on teams where there's a lot of veterans. This is a team where there's Fox, who's not very vocal, who he's actually worked with before, and then there's 3 rookies who all pretty much say, all right, let's do what Gilius is saying.
Yeah,
so he has
what it looked like.
Complete agency to talk in these fights, to tell people what to do, and they follow him, and they don't have egos, and he's been very vocal about how much he loves this team because of that. He gets to lead them.
It's interesting. Usually, as you're saying, you don't see a team take a fight when you have somebody at a 10th of their HP. The confidence behind that one for eUnited brought them to a 16-6, 32 minutes in a 7,000 gold lead now versus Team Liquid in Game 1. Gilius able to kind of just flex those muscles, stand in front of the turret with the trap line out, He try to eat these up. Fox takes a bit of Thunderlord damage, but they bait TL into basically a whitewash. Gilius is going to get taken down. Double Lift now facing off against two members. Zazel's going down with a turret shot. Double kill from Double Lift. Does he find another one with Rain over there? They have the ADCs. They have a bit of damage with Lorlo to be the meat shield on the front line. Ace in the hole goes to the back side, and they don't look like they can get a twisted advance to keep this one going. They do keep the turret alive, and that's going to spell good things for Team Liquid if this is how it repeats.
Yep, Rainover is going to have to be on clear duty here. Also, Double Lift on the bottom side. There are two members here, but look at all those minions. They buff them up. They do so much damage.
That can't repeat.
Yeah.
Great job at eUnited to keep it on all fronts. Mid lane looked like it fizzled out, but they still had bottom.
Yep. And that Mountain Drake, third Mountain Drake of the game will be coming up. Yep. One for each team.
Let's see this again.
Yeah, that charm hit Fox, made him walk into a trap because it takes the shortest route around towards that person. But then immediately, great there from Zazel to get the lockup. The knockback, they don't kill Rainover, and Gilius is tanking turret and gets dropped. But then Double Lift gets the net backwards, gets Zazel with a long-range headshot. And Lorlo here actually has flash, and a twisted advance re-engage is possible, but then it's pretty much a 2-on-3. But they're low HP. If you can kill somebody immediately, then you'd be good. But they really wanted that bottom turret. They gave those extra Baron buff stats to those minions, and Fox is going to pick up this Drake by himself. That's 2 for eUnited, who are looking quite good. This challenger team came here, everybody's saying individual skill, individual skill. We saw it during the laning phase. We've seen it a little bit here from Double Lift versus Deftly. Once again, picking up CS, but it just doesn't seem to be enough when it's the team coordination. It's the activity of Gilius on the map, who's pretty much been one of the only people to die on eUnited. He's got 5 deaths. He's got 5 of the 8 deaths that his team has, whereas his carries are the ones picking up those kills now.
Exactly. It's like you may die in each round, but you're the guy that set up the dude to like defuse the bomb to get the win, right? Gilius has come in, had a tough lane, or I'm sorry, Deftly come in, tough laning phase, last hit, 5-0 and 8 feels good because then those curtain calls mean even more damage from the backside, and he can stay even more safe. Feeling good, he backs himself off. 267 as Double Lift continues to farm, continues to try and equalize out what those 8 assists mean in his pocket.
Yeah, and just look at the gold difference here. Everybody ahead except for Rainover, who's ahead on TL. Everybody ahead on eUnited, including that bottom lane. Despite the CS difference, those assists have been coming up big for Deftly. It's pretty much even.
Yep. Let's see where they go from here. What is the smartest thing to do, right? You got Baron coming up in a bit, still going to be wearing down. Bot lane has it inhib open. Do you split them or do you focus it off?
So it's about vision control right now, and you're kind of split in a strange way because it's the bottom inhibitor that's down. It's the best one to get when there's Baron on the map. But honestly, you have a small window here of a few minutes where you want to set up Baron vision because it's up in 2 minutes and your wards will last 3. So you want to put your wards top side, but you want that bottom inhibitor. So you put wards top, cover Baron, and then you kind of have to go for this bottom in a one fell swoop kind of motion. Because if you don't get it now, you probably won't get it by the time that Baron's up. And if you ward for this to go between mid and bot, you're going to lose your wards on Baron. So it kind of comes down to the game of you only have a finite amount of vision to place at any time. You can only watch so many things on the map at once. And eUnited want to watch Baron because you can't let that slip, but you want the other side of the map.
See where the supports are after all this as well. Leandri, Zazel obviously trying to carry more support from Matt, who actually hasn't grabbed an Ardent Sensor. Aegis into Redemption. That's what we still usually see. And Zazel's been doing quite a bit of damage, so they're looking to stop a bit of that.
Yeah, Zazel's actually been very good this game. I've been loving his Grasping Roots, his Flash Grasping Root bottom to set up the kill, Flash Grasping Root ultimate on the top side of the map that got them the kill onto Double Lift and Rainover to allow the first Baron. And then in that last fight, just another extension from him. It's costing him his life a few times, but I feel like he's kind of doing what he needs to do in these fights.
Seeing Rainover on your screen, something we usually don't check. He does have that Phantom Dancer. Has defied him 2 deaths so far.
Ooh.
So a little bit of assistance there to keep him on the map. But eUnited just seems to be coming through with way too much damage at this point. And a lot of follow-up from Deftly as well as Fox. Ooh, right to the back there. About 900 damage across Piglet and Matt. That stings pretty good.
Yeah, Rainover took about 1,500 there himself. So he has to back up. He's the jungler. He needs to find something to lifesteal off of. Get some HP back. They actually use Redemption. Matt uses Redemption to keep Reignover around here. He didn't have any camps to pick up Smite or even auto attack lifesteal.
That was fast move by Team Liquid. eUnited seeing it as well. It didn't look like there was any hesitation there from the team until eUnited pulled off. They're going to go right back to it and say, all right, let's start the yo-yo game.
Yeah, right here even, they might lose their bottom inhibitor over the course of a minute here, but they're going to go straight for the jugular. They're going to try to pick this up, covering the choke points.
Double zonage.
And they make sure they pick it up.
Nicely done. Reignover quite low, so TL needs to get back. This may give eUnited a little bit of ground to work. Top lane, not going to be too much in their favor, but they're going to work mid here with Baron and see what they can get out of both mid and bot.
Yeah, bottom has all these minions. Middle, you already have a minion wave pushing, and this turret is about half HP,
bang, bang,
and it's gone.
Is that legal? Just tore it down. The Wrecking Ball moves through mid. That is eUnited now with Baron on top of them. Bot lane got pushed. A little bit of breathing room for Team Liquid, and double lift the focus here in mid with a bit of their AD damage. Doesn't look like he can even get too close. Over half of his HP from one of these shock blasts here.
Piglet looking for broke.
Oh, and he goes broke as well. 60 seconds on that death timer, and it looks like at 40 minutes in, eUnited is going to be looking to break the entire base of Team Liquid.
And Fox has been doing a great job on this Jace since he got out of laning phase. 3-0-7, and those shock blasts have been hitting quite true. We saw a few hit Matt. We saw a few hit double lift there, and he had to back, so he's not even able to continue to be a part of that fight. Another one there ends up hitting Reignover, and now they get to walk up. He does so much damage to these structures.
30 seconds on Ari still. Piglet waiting to come back up, maybe making those calls from the backside so the team can focus on the fight.
All right.
And looking for damage on Nexus turret.
Exactly. They have so much damage from this Jace. If you lose this fight, though, as eUnited, something could go very wrong for you, but I don't feel like they have too many ways to lose it. Let's see.
Lorlo goes in, gets his courage shield. Doesn't look like it's going to last too long, though. Redemption comes down as well. They're focusing a bit on the tank. They have taken so much damage off of the Nexus turret,
Fox is in.
And finally focused down. This is going to be the spawn from Piglet. He comes up in 1 second. Lorlo very low. Gilius now flashes over to try to get the outside of the play. Charmed in, and he is going to go down as Reignover takes him in. Double kill for him as Double Lift now off the fountain can start to provide more AD. And the double Mountain Drake keeps eUnited there long enough. Gets him on the pullback, true damage. And it looks like Team Liquid stays alive with one Nexus turret.
No, there's a TP from Lorlo. He's actually going to try to flank here. They have Baron buff. That's not going to work. They're going to Baron buff back, go for top lane. This might be Elder Dragon.
So this is going to be the clear from eUnited. TL has to make a move for Elder Drake. They cannot Smite fight it on the side of eUnited. This should be uncontested unless you see some type of curtain call.
Man,
take it away.
I was talking about this fight that's about to happen. I was saying it's a tricky situation for eUnited because they wanted to end the game there, but Elder Dragon was up in 20 seconds. You lose that fight, you lose Elder Dragon, you lose some tempo in the game, and you get set back. That was a huge gamble. eUnited had every advantage they would want, up in gold, up in mountain breaks. They could take that. But this right here, this is by the skin of their teeth. This required great execution from TL and also eUnited to drop the ball here. Equalizer comes down. It's kind of just zoning from the turret. If that equalizer is behind the turret, back there, it stops that path for double lift from Lorlo. Great there from Matt to get in there and help out with Fox's damage because double lift stays alive. Piglet respawns. Lorlo has soaked enough damage in this fight to get back up here. And then he flashes in Twisted Advance away because he doesn't want to continue. He wants to stay up to tank that Drake. And look at that. Gilius not really contributing that much, but late game Lee Sin, seriously, you're just a kickback at that point.
And it's requiring the whole team of Liquid to push off eUnited. You see the damage across the board for the Reignover, Piglet, and Double Lift.
Yeah, most members of eUnited did twice the damage of their TL counterpart, but they still lost the fight. It's the tankless composition as you approach these points in the game, 41 minutes in. And eUnited, seriously, that could have been a back off, reset, go for the Elder Dragon, but they tried to go for the game and some kills.
That was my next point. It's at that juncture. Does it happen again? Is it the closeout game where we see it becoming a problem? It happened once here. Look it up. out of our shoes on that, but Team Liquid knows that that is a spot in the game where they can continue to stay alive if eUnited shows a bit shaky. Each time they approach, if they can get Lorlo to go in, and they know they'll focus Lorlo, that turret stays alive longer. Longer for Double Lift, longer for Rainover, and I'm sure that's a glimmer of light here for TL as their base was just getting torn apart.
Yeah, and the fact that TL gets to keep that Elder Dragon, spend a little bit of time clearing these waves out, pick up some gold for themselves, reach 6 items on many of these guys. You can see Double Lift has it for himself, but the mid lane is kind of the big discrepancy here in items for me, because that's a 6 item. Pretty cheap build, though, for Fox, whereas on the other side, you have Piglet. He's got a Fiendish Codex and a needlessly large rod, which don't build into anything together. So he's going to be waiting on some type of completion here, whether it's the Zonias, which require the Seeker's Arm Guard, the Fiendish Codex, or a Death Cap, maybe even a Ludens, but those 2 items don't go together, so it's going to be a while before he gets another pickup here. He's sitting on 1,500 gold.
Oh, he actually got Double Lift. Those feel really good when you can slice it by a minion wave and hit the back line with the AoE explosion. You really start to mess with the mind of your opponents as well. Double Lift have to absolutely consider where he's going to be standing in these situations, because Fox is finding him. 1 minute, 30 seconds, and enough wards to have a good fight for themselves on the top side of this map.
Man, it is crazy because you look at the gold difference, and Double Lift and Deathly are actually pretty even right now. They're both 6 items, but Deathly is almost down 100 CS, and they hit 6 items at about the same time. So that CS actually just does not matter. Double Lift is clearing waves, and he's been doing a good job for himself, but the top lane CS is the one that really matters, because that's 100 difference. Licorice over Lorlo. The Rumble has been doing great so far. Yeah. They got him ahead, and he kept snowballing.
And incredibly pressured in that lane once Gilius did go up to have a little bit of fun with Lorlo.
Yeah, and then Licorice was able to bounce back. His only death was that one that happened previously in the top lane, but he's 6 items, and then Lorlo doesn't even have the components for his 6th item, so he's still about 2,000 plus gold, 3,000 away from actually finishing an item.
With 400 gold elixirs coming in for break moments here towards the end of the game, so that kind of hurts your buy.
Yeah, he's about 5,000 gold down. Lorlo is about 5,000 gold behind Licorice at this moment, which is a large part of this gold lead. Basically, if you can kill Licorice, then you've got even gold in terms of who's on the battlefield. Because this is about, well, give it about a 7,000 gold advantage here for eUnited.
Well, we're going to see how they use 7,000 gold to tempt a Baron. 10 seconds on the objective. Elder Drake obviously going to be again next. We got a little time on that as it was taken by Team Liquid. They start to push forward down mid lane, giving the lanes a little bit of room. Looks like bot should push in their favor as well. Redemption used to start things off, but that means TL is going to start this fight low in the beginning, and an equalizer could really turn it all for them.
Yeah. Matt looked like he had grievous wounds on him when the redemption went off too, so he didn't even get the full value of it there. But this is Baron being started up by TL. They have a Mountain Drake. They're in the pit. This could be a great equalizer or curtain call. They're trying to start it off. eUnited.
So one of those moments. Gilius could actually go down here. Polymorph, he's done. Polymorph at this point in the game means you are done if there are 4 members of the team along with you. Lorlo could be dropped himself. GA is going to come back up. eUnited grabbing control of positioning, though. They're already goal side to the base of Team Liquid, so Team Liquid's going to have to run through eUnited to get back. Maybe that's just what they want to do as Rainover goes over the wall, keeps himself alive, and eUnited now trying to push Team Liquid out into their base would even be good enough if they could get the kills. Good dodge by Double Lift, another dodge to keep himself alive. He was not able to get any attacks in really in this fight. And we see TL playing it safe as eUnited goes back to Baron.
I gotta say, again, Licorice, he blew the ultimate in that corridor. Great equalizer, blew a lot of flashes. And then Zeyzal flashes over the wall again and sets up the Grasping Root into the Stranglethorn. This is gonna be Baron going down there. Double Lift, 1v4?
Yeah,
actual
he's
1v4?
actually looking to 1v4. He wants the shots. Not enough spacing to be autoed, though. And they pull off of this one. Rainover, lateral, able to take out Licorice. 65 seconds. The minion waves have to be pushed. I don't know how much this gives Team Liquid. We'll see how they work it.
That's a minute on Licorice, though. I was saying, if you can pick that guy up, you'll be on pretty even footing afterwards. Even if it's a 4v5. This right here, the open up was great. Piglet trying to find a position over the wall. He loves flanking on these mid laners. throws out the charm, it hits Gilius, and then they try to blow him up. But then this equalizer here across 4 members causes flashes. Zeyzal goes in, roots double lift, and both rain over, threw down the grasping roots. That is Zeyzal doing, honestly, great work on this Zyra. The flash forwards with the grasping root. He's doing so much where he's another threat on this team as a support, and that's exactly what eUnited need. If he's sitting in the back trying to defend these guys who are trying to poke, he's not doing his job. He is being a hard part of this engage, and that was great to see. Zeyzal's seriously been playing so well. They ban away the Soraka, but he still has something.
Showing something that he didn't bring into the Challenger Series, honestly.
First time.
Know he can play it.
And it's honestly the most aggressive Zyra I've seen in team fights. Every flash is a flash forward here.
Teleport from Licorice. He's back up for the team. Lorlo went in pretty hard. Good damage onto Gilius. Where is the equalizer if it does come in? They say, hang on. We actually want to group the fight a little bit more before using that. Piglet's low and down on the bottom. Fox may go for that chase. Fired off the side. They call down for the Zanyas onto him. Gilius. There's a GA on him now. Shock blast over the side again. Zeyzal coming up huge. The Strangle Thorn to lock down Liquid. And the follow-up now. Definitely coming up with another kill for himself. The charm from Piglet. Big plays. Orb of Deception comes back and reels the damage in. He's not able to get all 3 members, though. They're all doing so much at the end, but it's just not enough for Team Liquid.
That might be it right there. That might be game 1 going to eUnited. Piglet's back is interrupted.
Yep.
They're pushing down mid. They've got the Baron buff. eUnited, the challenger team, against all odds.
Got him.
Might be taking this game 1.
Gets the cleanse out, tries to get the damage as well. Piglet's going to be there. Gilius not really doing that much damage, and they may not have what it takes to take down Piglet.
Oh, wait, they're not going to continue to go. Okay, they have an inhibitor, 1 inhibitor to kill, and there's only 1 turret left. They're going for a hard reset to make sure that they can get that top wave. Like, look at this. There's 15 seconds on Matt, 16 on double lift. That's a super reserved call.
I don't know if they don't have a ton of damage on Gilius either, though. But they had the minion wave, I guess. In a way, I kind of agree with you.
I feel
but
no,
they are playing off the last play, right, where they got pushed out.
100% you can get that bottom inhib here.
Bottom inhib, yes. I thought
crazy that they wouldn't go for at least
fight
that.
Again.
This is, once again, Zeyzal. I can't shut up about this guy right now. Like, the way that he approaches this, watch this from the top side of this fight. Everybody's clumped up. Equalizer, root onto 3, grasping roots afterwards. They have to sit there and cook. And it is a great team fight from this squishy team from eUnited. And they are just cleaning up. Those carries, double lift, rain over, they're getting hit by grasping roots pretty much every fight. And that equalizer on top of it. Licorice, we had seen him on the Rumble previously against Gold Coin United in the finals. It didn't look that great. It didn't look like the style that eUnited really wanted to play. But this game, the synergy has been on point. Zeyzal's first Zyra, and that's a big play for him again.
Feels nice as well. If that Soraka was the ban, I think a Zyra's going to find a ban coming in next game, no matter the result. I mean, there's always a reason that it doesn't, right? And the team says we can play against it. Yeah. But this has been powerful.
Because his laning phase was not good in the side. But a rain over caught again!
Oh, does Gilius get the kick? It actually goes back. He gets 2 members on that one. GA's down from last fight. He's going to get hit pretty hard. He stays alive with a sliver. Who's going to be there? And they get the ace in the hole stop by Deftly. Still enough HP to get back into the fight as plans separate both teams. A few traps there as well from double lift with Matt down. There's not much they can do, but I don't know if eUnited wants to start this just yet either.
They don't, because Gilius has to back. Gilius is backing, home guarding, running in, and so they're keeping advantage here as opposed to mid lane for eUnited. They'll lose a little bit of damage on that mid turret and positioning. But we'll see here. They don't have Matt for TL, but if there's a steal here, this could be a fight they turn around. But eUnited, they've had this game. It looked like it might have been in the bag.
3 members down for either team, and a resulting fight is going to mean the game. 38-41. Elder Drake gonna heal back up. Rain over way too low to participate in the fight anymore, and Lorlo goes in at that time.
Licorice almost dead.
Collateral damage goes through. It doesn't do any damage. They're gonna be able to drop Elder Drake in favor. Gilius takes it for the team, and eUnited's now looking at the kill. Piglet gets hit. He's gonna be good from the Deathfire touch on the Zanyas. They'll make it out. Lorlo went in as soon as Rainover was way too low. Miscommunication has just fumbled this, as it looks like eUnited will now push through to see what damage they can do to the base.
Looking for Deadly Flourish. Lorlo's like, I gotta dip, dodge, duck, and dive. Get out of there.
They're gonna back. Oh! They allow TL to heal up. Do not continue the pressure. They took some hits as well in the fight, so it looks like eUnited to take a breather themselves as we come up on 100,000 gold for eUnited. 26-17 in a 52-minute game here to start things off for the promotion tournament.
Yeah, and they have to reset fast because remember, Elder Dragon doesn't last that long. It's already a third over. They've gotten the blue buff. There you go. Fox not going to back. What is he going to back for? He's got nothing to buy. So he goes immediately to the bottom side of the map, starts pushing that out. Definitely has already traded out his Youmu's for a Bloodthirster previously. So we're seeing these item swaps come through. We're seeing people pick up new ones for themselves after they've dropped them. And trying to augment their build slightly. The lethality's worth way less here.
Yeah.
Later on, and he just wants to survive. Definitely doesn't want to get blown up. Like Licorice almost did that last fight.
Piglet now to 6. That was Azania's, as we have seen him picked up before. But it's all about the elixirs now. Making sure you can get yourself built up. And then a last-ditch effort in these fights.
Yep, 30 seconds on the Baron. 2/3 of the way done on the Elder Dragon. So eUnited will have a bit of this Baron when it's spawned to use the extra Mountain Drake that they kind of get from having the Elder. In terms of true damage, Gilius looking for a kick backwards, hit Rainover, looking for somebody, double lift!
Double lift just in the corner, flash, and he is out with Lock of the Iron Solari. The team has Zazul gets the ult down, but it's not as much as the team can get back on. That's been the whole thing. eUnited has been ready to act on the crowd control. Lorlo in the front, GA's up, but he flashes to keep it alive still as the Deadly Flourish just over his shoulder. A lot of flashes. Nobody going down just yet, though. Very, very low Lorlo.
Yeah.
The back.
He's going to have to back. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have TP, can't get here in time. Elder Dragon, very close to wearing off, but they still have it now. That's going to go so fast.
They know Zazul's low. He's got to be careful. Baron's going to do damage either way. Mid's going to get pushed. They will lose a bit for this, but have time to back for the inhibitor. So TL's just trying to pick up the scraps here as they have time.
Yeah, they'll clear out the jungle, even though it's not worth that much gold right now. They don't really need to. Rainover just picking up some for the road.
Hopefully put some wards here on their way out, just because it's not really like this map has, side of the map has too much they want, but you still have to be safe. And eUnited says, top's pushing against us, mid and bot now that we have all 5 up. We'll see how they can play it if TL doesn't stop them before they get there.
Oh boy, this is welcome to Awkward Town where you're on opposite sides of the map, but this is going to be an open inhibitor here in mid. Piglet's going to back, try to get a flank position of Pincer, so it'll be 4 on one side and then 1 on the other. And now eUnited's going to go for this bottom.
This makes it a little bit weirder for your AD carry and support. They got to figure out where they're going to stand. Onto Piglet. To the skies, dodged out by a Spirit Rush. 2 inhibitors down now. It's going to take a while for those super minions to get in.
Rainover
Still got some regular waves. Fox and the rest of the team flash back. Rainover very low as Gilius has that focus. The rest of the team keeping Lorlo at bay. A 1v1 towards the top side. Connects it. It's going to be... Keeps him alive with the lifesteal. Very nicely done. Sterix, or actually Maul Morty is coming through in his lifeline.
Yeah, he's also got a Bloodthirster.
Yep.
And he's turned around on Gilius. TL almost lost Rainover at the beginning, but as soon as Gilius went in and the burst was done onto Rainover, he starts kiting back and gets the 1v1 kill there near the end.
Absolutely ridiculous. You can see how quick that changed the mind of eUnited as well. The calls from Gilius are 100% until Gilius kind of says no. That's a bad situation. They also listen to that, though. They pull off after a bit of an erroneous play, but a great play by Rainover.
Yeah, and speaking of where Gilius is right now, sold his jungle item, now has a black cleaver.
Yep, just saw that.
So looking for a little bit more, finishing off that CDR. Almost double the CS for Rainover, but I feel like these CS numbers really don't matter right now. You're not buying anything extra. You're selling your jungle item for things like Bloodthirster, which has already happened. And people have already approached that area where you can just continue to swap out items.
Also, if you were wondering as well, that was another death defied for Rainover on his Phantom Dancer. 4 for him. The item does work. Oh, I don't know if it worked against you, Burnin, though. Hot feet on the side of Liquid. Is this an engage?
Oh,
Shock Blast missed. A little bit of
TP.
disarray for United there.
TP from Licorice on the other side. He's going to go into a lot of low HP members here. And they didn't see it. I don't think they could see it.
No, he's charging himself up and he's trying to stay out of range. He doesn't have Equalizer,
Surprise!
so it's just going to be the slows. Surprise, he says, as well as he shoots to the skies. Curtain call's going to come through. They do find Matt. Double lift low, Lorlo low. All the Team Liquid have to run. This could be eUnited sealing the deal as they have minions crashing into the bot side. Coming up on 60 minutes, they have gone the long haul in this fight, and now the 4th time inside Liquid's base.
But it's 1 for 1 in terms of kills. It's the top laner for the support. 20 seconds on this Baron buff. They'll be able to deal damage to these turrets, but TL, I feel like they have better members up right now. They're trying to flank.
This is what they did last time. Lorlo becomes the focus. You have to shoot that tank in front of you.
They're killing people on the bottom side of the fight. Reynover's dead.
Definitely's going to go down. They actually take down Double Lift. Definitely should be able to stay alive here with lifesteal, and he will not go down. They're onto the Nexus, and Lorlo will drop with a final shot from Deftly. 31-19, 57 minutes in. Game 1 going to eUnited.
57 minutes, slow, but they finally get it. They had an advantage from the get-go. They got the first blood. They got the second kill off the bottom lane. They started having advantages across the board, but it took them a long time to close it out. But they can definitely be confident in this best of 5. That first win for them gets them one step closer to those winners finals.
Strength in continuous aggression for eUnited. Gilius on the forefront of the calls, whether dead or alive, and it just seemed like the team was on a rope to his voice, doing everything at the moment he said. And even when they actually went in and made the error, when they went too deep trying to end the game, it didn't seem to faze them at all. They said, oh, you know what? We still have the damage. We know we made an error there. And instead of being tempered and measured, they went right back into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, that was a game where you can look at that and be like, wow, we probably could have gotten that bottom inhibitor. We didn't count right, but it's such a high-stakes situation to be in. But that made it so when they didn't take that risk, they actually put themselves more at risk for the game rubber banding back on them. There were some team fights that looked like TL maybe gets away with it, and there's a few that they did get away with and actually win, but eUnited, they had pretty much every right to that game since the get-go, since they started getting those top lane fights as well that ended up in the Baron. And I gotta say, Zeyzal was a big standout for me in that game. That guy on the Zyra for the first time, big standout. The flash forwards with the grasping roots got them into the game, got them to really get a hold on it. But it was kind of the closeout that was hard. Yeah,
I tell you,
the power of beard, man.
The beard advantage. I'm telling you, it's a beard advantage.
Oh, man.
The early part of this game, Gilius playing very well. Lane to lane, he was able to find something up top for Licorice, not for Fox. He did go for a little bit of love for Fox, but really what he was doing was he was causing Reignover to react. Reignover couldn't play his game in the early game, and Gilius was able to pick up kills and then still get on kind of Reignover's case in the jungle at the same time. Yeah,
Gilius was more active in his lanes. Reignover was kind of counter-ganking. So you saw, though, people talk about how hard it is to go up against Reignover. Reignover was kind of answering all of Gilius's plays, saw them coming a little bit in advance, but there was even the time that Reignover ganked top, there was already a ward there, which was a great ward to place, and then there was the counter-gank that came through from Gilius. So we're seeing these two junglers actually be a little bit, I would say, mismatched in terms of how fast they are to get places. But I would say that they have the right idea. Both of them are going after the same objectives at the same time, so it ends up pretty strange.
Absolutely. So for more on that eUnited win, let's check in with our analysts.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. A nice victory here for eUnited to start off the series, but a long one at that. So there will be some questions raised around stamina, mental stamina, and physical stamina for both these teams as we kind of stroll through the night. But what I want to approach here first, final team fight, because a really cool teleport call out of eUnited to finally put the final nail in the coffin here for Team Liquid in a game that eUnited was controlling for the majority of it.
Absolutely, and the thing goes here is, this is after Licorice's TP, and I believe he's out of vision slightly for this because Double wouldn't hug the wall like this if it was this way, but yeah, Model Warriors pops, the shield is there and doesn't really get much out of it. The pick us onto Matt and Licorice dies, and you'd think that killing a support for killing a top laner maybe not the best trade, but the benefit that they have here is the fact that the health bars are so low, they force all of Liquid to have to get all the way into the base and heal up first. You can see the Shock Blast, Builder tries to tank it, but the fact that Piglet's actually zoned out of the base, and now it's a 3v4 with only one turret and a Baron buff is actually something that you can actually push with. And as long as they keep Piglet zoned out, which is what Zeyzal and sometimes Fox does, it's actually, right, you can see Fox again pushes Piglet out, Piglet can't team fight at all, and then Fox still would be able to rejoin the fight. And then down to the bottom here is super clutch. You've got to look at what Zeyzal has done and definitely have done to actually knock out Double there. That crit, really, really big deal after the reload because it was very, very close to him losing that fight. If Double gets the kill,
saw the lifesteal there.
If he gets killing AD carry, he lifesteal tanks the rest of it because the Merlin does not exist on this team comp. So very, very tight margins. Very fortunate that he was able to reload in time and not die, getting that final shot out. Super tight margins, but it was good to see them go for risky play because the tried and true, like, let's keep pushing and hoping it works, wasn't closing the game out, and it was good to see them go for a big play.
Ultimately, though, a little surprised that we even made it to 57 minutes because if you look at how the game started, eUnited had a very clear game plan, right? We know we're gonna lose the bot lane up against Doublelift and Matt. Let's sack that. Let's focus top lane with Gilius. Let's get our top laner rolling in, so that's exactly what happens.
And this is funny because it's Reignover kind of misplaying. He's like flashing a bit farther than he needs to, and this counter gank is obviously very, very good. Waits on the Q, and then this is actually pretty fortunate. He guesses right which way Low is going to dodge. Props to Gilius for landing that, but Gilius took over the game. He had several really good clips. He starts the game, I think, 3-0 and 1.
Yep.
And such huge that he was able to do this. I mean, the early game leads in the other lanes were mandatory for this game to be won.
But the thing here is that one of our cautions or reservations with the challenger teams coming in was how would they run with leads? How would they control games against LCS teams? What is their ability to close? And we saw a little bit of uncertainty in that mid to late game around how exactly to close out a game.
Right, you had situations where, again, Gilius gets like a 3-0 start to the game. Matt deliberately like gives away a kill in the bot lane, and then Gilius ganks bot lane again, and Liquid still start the game 2-0 in turrets.
Right.
It's like you've hard won 2 different lanes via kills, and you've still lost turrets first. So clearly there's things going a bit wrong. Thankfully for them, they're able to get into team fights, and the team fights give them the gold lead, and that's what's really big.
Let's take a look at the last one, the one that probably broke the game open. 3-for-1 here for eUnited near the Drake.
Yeah, as you can see, Liquid are kind of grouped up over the Drake right now, and it's eUnited who's kind of trying to react to come in here. And it's a very split fight, right? So you've got Fox on a 1v1ing Piglet and Charming, and getting away from the Charm and everything else. But this curtain call is very safe. He's actually able to put a lot of damage down onto Matt and on towards the back lane, pushing Reignover down quite a bit as well. And Piglet on the wings can't get much done. It's really just big shout out to Fox flashing over, going for the big play. I think these are mandatory at these high stakes games to not be so nervous and so risk averse that you're willing to go for a flash to the wall, kill a support, then solo double lift as well. Of course, definitely able to get back in the fight to land that auto attack, really big as well. And just, I was glad to see United play very aggressively and not be afraid about the big names in the enemy roster and say, no, we need to play hard if we want to win this game.
Individually, very impressed by the members of eUnited. I mean, Licorice had some fantastic ultimates. You heard the casters singing Zazel's praises, with his aggressive Zyra play.
Zazel out-damaged anyone on Liquid.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
He's number 4 in damage dealt over all of Liquid. That's awesome. Good for him.
All right, yeah. So now, looking ahead at Game 2, though, if I'm eUnited, I want to close it out in obviously cleaner fashion than 57 minutes. On the side of Team Liquid, though, I'm still wondering how the heck I'm managing to lose games with Doublelift, Reignover, Piglet at the wheel. And as you mentioned, with a clear demonstration of better macro game from the early turrets taken over eUnited.
Yeah, and I think that's the player skill is closer than you think. Licorice looks super good. His rumbles are great. I think he's a very good carry top laner, actually. We've heard his coaches talk about that before. And Zazel super big as well. I loved his Soraka in the Challenger Finals. His Zyra looks really good as well. So it feels like in a lot of the player skill, it's closer than you think. But yeah, Liquid have the macro calling. Again, they started the game like 0-4 in kills and managed to get the first 2 turrets. You just have to not suicide those first 4 kills and then just keep the macro game up.
Yeah, that's true. We saw Matt flashing under turret for a kill, ends up handing one over earlier. Team Liquid will have to avoid mistakes like that. We've got to step away for a quick break, but when we come back, Liquid will fight to tie up the series in Game 2 versus eUnited. Stay with us.
Wait, let me look again. Oh, double is choking as well. Holy shit.
I'm on double lift. On Reignover. Careful for Ari. I'm protecting you. I have locket on you. Matt, finish.
Comment! Nice! I got you, bro.
Finish low. Okay, I'm in there.
Let's go!
I'm in there.
You got it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, let's go!
Nice shot.
Finally, dude.